So this week's assignment is to speak about self-disclosure, and from a personal standpoint, and the way that I believe that I will approach counseling, I think that it would be appropriate. I believe to be a humanistic, person-to-person, person-centered therapist. I think that there needs to be the ability to relate to the client, and the client to be able to relate to the counselor. Naturally, there are ways for this to occur without having you disclose any personal information. But I think that, general things like if a client comes in and happens to be going through some difficulties and they had just lost their dog or their cat, and these are just general situations, but I don't think it would be inappropriate to say, hey, I can understand how you're feeling about that. I have 3 dogs. I've lost a few myself, and I know how difficult it can be. I don't think that that's beyond the point of being a professional. I think that that's just showing a understanding between you and the client, and it allows you to present yourself as a human being that has feelings as well. On the other side, though, I think that there needs to be a set of boundaries. And I think it's important for the next 2 years, 2.5 years, as we're going through this process, to be able to create those actual guidelines or boundaries in which we disclose information to our clients. I think that it would be, and these are naturally some examples, I think that it would be detrimental to our clients who were coming in for substance abuse, or who were coming in at a young age for drinking or drugs or sexual orientation or things like that, for us to disclose those personal things to our clients, particularly in a school counseling, young counseling situation. I don't think it would be professional. I actually think that it would provide the students with the idea that, hey, if they ended up okay, I will end up okay. Or if they were able to do it, and they're in their position, that, hey, I'll be fine. I'm okay. I don't have to maybe reassess my situation and reassess the certain things that I'm doing currently in my life. So again, I think that it's situational. I think that I think it has to do with the group and the population that you're working with and the circumstances. But I also think that it has to do with boundaries. There's personal information about myself that I am willing to disclose, and I believe is not unprofessional. And then there's certain things that are my own personal situations, and I don't think that I need to express that to a client. And I would naturally feel the same way with a client. I don't necessarily think that every single situation that they've ever had in their life is necessarily something they want to explain to the counselor, and I wouldn't force them or expect them or coax them to get that information. It would have to be willing, and I think it would be the same way for myself, and that's how I personally feel about self-disclosure.